You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than...
Well, hello everyone, here I am. I know everybody's thinking, what the heck is this woman doing here? But you know what, I can't stay away from you, and I came on here to share my heart because if you haven't heard, last Monday afternoon I had a heart attack and I was taken via ambulance to our local hospital here, public hospital. They're usually really good, and I'm going to go into that a little bit further. But thank you so much for joining us on Who, What, Where Wednesday. Yes, I had a heart attack, and I'll be sharing some of that with you tonight on Who, What, Where Wednesday. My name's Narelle Warcon, and I'm coming to you from Mackay, Queensland, Australia. Please bear with me this evening. I am here. I'm still a little bit... I'm still a lot recovering and learning how to actually relax, which I don't know whether I know how to do that. Hi, Jean. Hi, Vimal. Lovely to see you. Hi, Siraj. So good for you to join in. It's so lovely to see you all. I see a couple of others. Gurnham, thank you so much for joining us. And also Jayenga, thank you so much for joining us on our YouTube live stream. It is Wednesday and it is the 9th of April, believe it or not. Can you believe how quick this year is going? Maybe it's an age thing, I don't know, but you've got to try and fit in as much as you can, right? So thank you all for joining us. Really do appreciate the fact that you are here and you've taken time out of your busy morning, afternoon, evening to join me here for me to explain a little bit about what's been going on. Now, last week, while I was in hospital, we did go a semi-live just to let you know that I was in hospital. I had a little bit of a disgruntlement. Hey, Glenda, lovely to see you. Sometimes your expectations, I suppose, are a little bit higher than perhaps what you think is really happening in our world. And look, it's a big topic. I understand that. But today I want to come here and say thank you so much. I received hundreds and hundreds of messages of well wishes, of love, of support, and of prayers. And prayer does work because I am here with you. And the dear Lord thought it best to keep me alive because I sometimes sort of laugh, and please don't think it's flippant for me, but I have these conversations with the Lord and I think, okay, you want me to slow down. This is a way of doing it. Thank you, Jean. I don't feel so wonderful, but I'm okay. I'm a little bit, my nerves are still a little bit shot, but I think having an angiogram and things like that. So I'm here to do my very, very best of what I can do tonight. So sorry if I look a little bit on the scruffy side or sound a little bit scruffy. I am here and I am alive, so that is a good thing. And again, thank you for all those jumping on. Thank you to those joining us on my Narelle Warcon author Facebook page and those coming in on LinkedIn. Thank you ever so much. I want to share a few details with you tonight, mainly because I think that awareness is something that we sort of hear about it. We sort of maybe read about it. Sometimes it may have happened in your family. So the first question I have for you tonight: have you or somebody you know ever had a heart attack and gone to hospital? Because it is something that I feel is really important right now to be able to share my information with you and what my experiences are around that. Sometimes we can read things, they become overwhelming. It really is good if you can pop it in there. If you or anyone you know has had a heart attack, sorry, please pop it in the chat and just let me know who it was, if it's been you or not. Like I said, you may have read about it and things like that. Things become overwhelming because, as you know, our Ready, Set, Go was just placed a little bit on the Ready, Set, hang on a minute. So maybe we need a name change for that just at the present time. But yeah, so one of the things I want to say is that my experience in hospital. So back in 2015, I woke having a heart attack. I was rushed to the hospital and I was transferred then to the, oh, hello, Vivine, lovely to see you. Rushed to the hospital that did open heart surgeries. They did an angiogram and found that I had 100% blockages in 2 of my main arteries and 50% in one of the others. Now, I didn't know that. I had been working full time. I was walking a lot and doing all those things. Now, I'm bringing this into the now, but just bear with me while I just fill people in a little bit about the story behind that. So there was a lot of stress in my work, and there was one gentleman in particular who was married to the boss's daughter, who thought that he could speak to people or create stressful situations to make people angry at each other. Believe it or not, there's people out there that do that. So one of the things that I found was I was in a very stressful situation. Now, I had a triple bypass. I went through all the pain, the agony, the frozen shoulder. It took a long time for me to sort of come through that, but my heart was fixed. And the doctor who worked on my heart, I gave him a signed copy of my book saying, "Thank you for saving my life." Now, part of my book says in the last chapters that I felt there wasn't one part of my heart that hadn't been ripped apart, trodden on, scarred. You know, it just felt like it had to happen in a sense. There may be some people who do or don't know what I'm sort of talking about there, but after everything I'd been through with domestic violence, I sort of felt that my heart needed to be repaired. And that's what happened in 2015. I'm coming up for 10 years in July, and I will be doing a year heart on Facebook and on here for that date, because that's a huge celebration for me. So fast forward 2023, you may have been here. I was not doing lives at that time, but you may have seen it on Facebook. I was taken to hospital having a heart attack again. So in I go, and everybody's praying for me. That's why I say prayers work, okay? Everybody in my family, everybody in my own passive family are praying for me at this time. I go in, I have an angiogram, and they find no blockages, and they find that my heart has actually done its own little bypass. No stents are required, and I was sent home that afternoon late after I had been in the ward a little while and eaten and things like that. So fast forward to now. So here we are. And this last Monday, the 1st of April, believe it or not, who would have a heart attack on April Fool's Day? There's only a few of us. So in I go. I felt the pain. This time it was actually quite bad pain. And I remember thumping my own chest, trying to firstly get rid of the pain. And secondly, it gave me something like, you read these things over the years, and if you cough and if you do this and that. And so I was sort of laying in bed. I text my son and said, you need to come here now. And once he was in the room, I said, you need to ring an ambulance. I think I'm having a heart attack. So I know the symptoms that come on for myself. And for women, it is completely different to what men experience. I don't know whether it's men are more melodramatic, but they tend to hold their chest, grip their chest, in a lot more pain, down their arms, in their jaw, and things like that. So for all women out there, I just want to say, be very aware, okay? Because a heart attack can come and go without you noticing it too much. God, yeah, God does have a sense of humor. You're right. And him and I laugh a lot together. Um, so what I'm saying is that be aware as women that we don't get these aggressive type, things like that. This one was definitely more painful for me. And I lay on my bed, and the ambulance bearers came and took me to hospital because of my history. So they don't actually do testing at all anymore. They put a cannula in my arm, in my hand, and then took me to hospital. So when you get to the hospital, what they do is they take bloods from you and they check it, because there's an enzyme within your bloods that is supposed to read under 5, okay, under 5. Now, this will tell them whether or not a person is having a heart attack or not. Mine was 176. It increased because they keep doing bloods every 4 hours. It increased to 266, and then it also went up to 495. Many people have higher readings, but that reading is meant to be under 5. So you can imagine that, you're having or had a heart attack because it started to, the pain started to subside. I started to feel a little bit better. But you can imagine, if you're a woman, you're at home and you get a bit of a pain in the chest and you think, she'll be right, mate. Maybe it's a little bit of indigestion. Maybe I bent over wrong. Maybe I did something at work. It could quite easily have been a minor heart attack. So just be aware of that, and just be sensible about it. Don't keep putting it off. If it is something that keeps niggling at you, please have yourself checked out, even if it isn't going by ambulance, because you don't want it to be a massive heart attack, okay? So there I sat. That was Monday. Tuesday, they had booked me in for the angiogram to check my arteries and things like that again. So Tuesday morning, I was first off the list, and down I went. But before you go, you have to be shaved in a few little places. We won't go there. But also you need to be washing, have a bed bath, I would say. And normally the nurses do it for you. Anyway, I had a cannula in each hand, right? And I had all of these heart monitors, cords, everything all over my body. I was put into one of their beautiful purple open in the front type hospital gowns, and this male nurse, now male or not, it shouldn't matter, because they have to do what they have to do, but they gave me these wipes, and they're actually called, and this is where it started to go a little bit, oh my gosh, what does the world come to when they've got to give you these wipes that say bath in bed wipes? I mean, how stupid do they think you are? And the thing is, where are the nurses with their little bowl of soapy warm water, right, and bathing you down where you need to be bathed down? Remember, I've got 2 cannulas, so I'm strapped here and I'm strapped there, and I've got all these cords, and all of a sudden I have to start washing myself. And I get a bit teary, because I think, is this what the world has come to? I do it. I'm not happy about it. And then they come and take me down to another ward where they're going to do the angiogram, all very clinical, all very pristine, clean. And the people that work in that department or on that floor are amazing people. They should train other people. They should really train other people, other nurses, because they are loving and caring and kind. And it just so happened one of the nurses there was somebody that was there 2 years ago. And I said to her, she said, "Oh, hello, I'm Phoebe." And I said, "Hey, Phoebe, I remember you from last time." And she said, "Do you?" And I said, "Yeah, because she's such a pretty girl." And I said, "Yeah, you're so pretty. How could you forget a face like yours?" But it was so beautiful that when you're going into an angiogram, of course you're a little bit scared, okay, because you don't know what they're going to find. You know, is there blockages? What's happening? There's all these things running through your head. I've got past, heart concerns. So anyway, they get me ready. I go in. It was a little bit hard. I couldn't see the TV screen where they bring up the angiogram this time. But they all know their job. You know, everybody is doing what they need to do in sequence. It's amazing to actually watch or listen to. Hey, Marcienne, lovely to see you. I know, Jean, it made me cry, I tell you. It still upsets me to this day. So it's only just been over a week, and yes, like I said, I'm still a little bit fragile. But just going on, so they take me in, they do the angiogram, no stent required. Okay, thank you for all your prayers again, but they do find a small blockage. The blockage is too close to my main artery to be stented, so they don't do it. Now, that's okay. Come out, go back up to the ward. They put me in a private room, which is really nice considering I'm only a public. Hey, Deborah, lovely to see you. And Mahesh, thank you so much. It's nice to be public and put in for a private room, but they're keeping an eye on me and things like that coming through the angiogram. So then they send somebody up also to do an echo or echocardiogram, I think it's called. And they do a really thorough, like an ultrasound on your heart, and it was quite thorough, and it was quite breathe in and hold. And, they want to get a proper picture of your heart and what sort of, if there's been any heart damage, heart muscle damage by having a heart attack. So that's okay. That was done. They then came at 1:30 in the morning and said, "You've got to go. We need this room. We're taking you down to the surgical ward now." And I said, "Oh, okay." They were a little bit pushy and a little bit rude, one nurse in particular. And I said to her, what would have happened had I have been asleep? Because you don't sleep a lot in hospitals. If you've ever been there, you'll know that. Doesn't matter what you're in there for. Who's there? Pravilka, thank you so much for joining. So they're shuffling all my stuff around. They're getting me ready because the nurses from the surgical ward have to come up to the coronary care unit and get me and collect me, right, and take me down to the surgical ward. So I'm waiting, but I said to her, what would have happened had I have been asleep? She said, we would have woke you because we need the bed. That's lovely. Thank you so much. You're so kind and understanding at 1:30 in the morning. You're now in the platform. Thank you so much. So, at 1:30, you sort of, even though you're not sleeping too well, you're still a little bit disorientated because all of these things have been happening. You've had an angiogram. You're already upset because the nurse didn't wash you down. You had to do it yourself. So you've already got a little bit, I suppose, of semi-stress that you didn't really need on top of. So down to the surgical ward I go. They're quite nice. I do believe these days, and look, it doesn't matter, I suppose, what business or what profession you're in. There are good and bad people, and there are some people that just shouldn't be there. So they put me into a ward or into a room with another lady. And I have to say, that lady was an absolute godsend because we spoke openly. We connected straight away. We had amazing conversations. I was helping her. She was in there for the same thing Sherry Dershwa had, diverticulitis, I think it is, tummy, bowel, that sort of thing. So she was feeling a bit down and, downtrodden and stuff like that. So God put me in the right room because we both needed each other. And that was an absolute blessing. But there were some nurses. There was an older nurse. I'm not saying anything about her size, but she was a big lady. And when I asked, because my bed kept going down, they put you in these airbed type things, and it kept going down, which means I'm like lying on metal. And because I have lost a lot of weight, I don't have a lot of comfort around my backside hips anymore, because I've lost 13 kilos now. The thing is, I asked her about the bed. Hey, Kenton, my great mate from New Zealand, thank you so much for being here. I asked her, could she please adjust the bed, because I'd heard one of the other nurses adjusted it for me, talk about some Pro Max thingy. So anyway, she said, oh, I don't know how to do that. Anyway, I've had a heart attack, and I've had an angiogram, and I've had an echo, and it's okay. And I actually, look, sometimes I think I'm a bit rude, but I think words come out of my mouth sometimes that just need to come out. And I said, it's okay, don't worry, I'll do it myself. So out I get and walk around and pull the sidebar down, and I'm going through this electronic device on the side of my bed thinking, oh my gosh. Anyway, I came across Pro Max, pressed the button, the bed inflated again, so I could go around and hop back into bed and feel comfortable. I know, it all sounds like fun and games, doesn't it? So, but one of the things I wanted to share with you tonight, that I do have some statistics which I'll leave to the end, and I did ask the question in the beginning about whether or not you or anyone you know in your family or friends who have or may have had a heart attack over the last 10 years or something like that, whether you have much knowledge around it or information, because like I'm sharing my journey in it, and because I've already had 3 heart attacks now, and I do believe in the dear Lord above, because it's only through him that brings me through. And the reason why is because you've all been praying. Okay, so never forget to pray for other people, because you are a blessing to other people when you can do that. So some of the statistics I'll run through in a minute. What I wanted to say was, I hadn't been in hospital since 2023 when I had my other heart attack. Now, I didn't get, maybe I got sandwiches back then or something before I went home, but I never actually saw or had to eat any of the hospital food. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is maybe you know somebody in hospital. Maybe you know somebody who doesn't have a spokesperson for them. Maybe you know somebody or don't know somebody, right, but could help out in situations. Now, I'm very fortunate that I've been blessed with my son, who is my carer and who was able to bring me the food that I eat, because most of you know that I'm carnivore. I would not have fed any of the food from the hospital to a dog. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is, maybe, like I said, you know somebody in hospital or has been, or maybe going to, that you could support them in some way by at least asking them, is there anything I can bring to the hospital for you? Is there something that you might need? Okay, because they don't have the spokespeople. And what upset me, trying not to be stressed out, what upset me the most was seeing this disgusting food. Now, from what I know is the public hospital here in Mackay do not have a kitchen or a workable kitchen anymore. Now, I could order some things if it was just meat, and they didn't have anything available for breakfast bar cereals, which are all full of sugar. Okay, I'm still a diabetic, but very well, like almost reversed now. But they had all cereals. They had white bread, and they had wholemeal bread, no, multigrain bread, and they had honey jams, and all of that. And you could order extra sugar in a packet if you wanted to. Well, I don't eat breakfast, so that didn't really worry me too much, okay? But it started me thinking, all of these people are in hospital for a reason. Now, whether it's their health, whether they've had surgery, whether they're not feeling well, and the elderly, and they're getting this crap that they have to choose from. I mean, what do you do with that sort of a choice? You don't even get a choice. I mean, years ago, it used to be you could have a hot breakfast and they might bring you scrambled eggs or a sausage or bacon or something like that, right? You've all been in hospital maybe, or you know somebody who's been to hospital. You've seen the food, and sometimes when you see it, you think, oh gosh, I wish there was an extra one for me. Well, you wouldn't do that today, I can tell you that. It is disgusting. So then for lunch, I said, oh, well, they're having roast chicken today. I might just get chicken. So the lady from the kitchen came up and saw me and said, I see that it's written here that you're just high protein and, you only eat meat and stuff like that, eggs, that sort of thing. And I said, look, I am okay. My son is looking after me. He will bring me up stuff that I need. However, there are some things, I could order off of the menu that may or may not be okay for me, but certainly a lot better than not having anything. So I ordered chicken. Oh my gosh, this is what it looked like to me. It looked boiled and then microwaved till it was at its last death. I couldn't even put a fork into it. Now, I don't have gravies or sauces or anything like that, but it was so dry that it was honestly. So that upset me again, because the nurses, or not even the nurses, the kitchen staff just bring it around, drop it on your tray, and away they go. Nobody comes in while you're eating. Hey, Jelen, lovely to see you. Nobody comes in to help you. And how the heck are you going to cut it? Because now they don't have any cutlery. They don't have any china plates. Nobody in the kitchen because the dishwasher's broken down. Now we've got cardboard boxes with food in, with bamboo forks, knives, spoons. I mean, those things don't work at the best of times. Yeah, and we're not even a really small country town. Like Mackay is quite a big place, big-ish enough to have a great big hospital and private hospitals. So all of a sudden now you're getting bamboo knife, fork, spoon, all in cardboard boxes shoved on a tray in front of you, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is getting worse by the minute. Like, how am I supposed to keep healthy? Or how is anybody else? Hi, Bergeth, lovely to see you. How is anybody else going to get the nutritional value that they need because they're in hospital? One of the reasons you're in hospital is because you're sick, right? Or you've had surgery for something. So you need nutrition to be able to feel better to leave the hospital, right? That's how it should be. So now I'm sad, because now I'm thinking of all these people that are on this ward that have got, I don't know, I just felt so sad, because now all these people who don't have a spokesperson, don't have anybody there, the nurses only do what they need to. Now, please, look, if you're against what I'm saying, or you feel pissed off, or you're a nurse and you're a good nurse, I'm sorry, but a majority of them now only do what they have to do. Years ago, they did it was patient care. It was understanding, it was loving, it was being sympathetic or empathetic towards somebody who was, trying to get better and had been through some sort of surgeries and things like that. So these days they're only doing what they have to do. And a lot of nurses didn't return after the Kenton, thank you so much, Healing and Hope. Thank you so much. I want to thank you now, okay, Kenton, for that beautiful, beautiful message that you wrote. And as Chris read it out, and as he said, it was really meant for everybody in our On Passive family, and maybe even your own family, to have a read of that. It's on Kenton's Facebook page, but it was also read out on the live with Marty and Chris last night. Oh, sorry, this morning. It was last night for me, early morning. But I understand that, and thank you so much, Kenton. It was just an absolute, brought tears to my eyes, because actually you've all brought tears to my eyes, because it's been so overwhelming with all of the messages and things like that that I've been getting. That if I haven't replied to you, please forgive me. I am trying to reply to a few a day, to be able to personally thank you, because that's who I am. Um, Jane, sorry, what? I wonder, Narelle, if God didn't make this. Yeah, and Jean, I was just getting to that. So this is what's happening, and I'm starting to think maybe I needed to experience this. Thank you, Kenton. Love you. Maybe I needed to experience this. I always believe that, everything that's happened in my life has brought me where I am today. So if you've had experiences in your life that have been hurtful and painful, and might be relationships, it might be your health, it might be something else, it might be business related, and you feel down and you feel pissed off, you feel cranky, you feel angry, why is this happening to me? Well, the reason why this is happening to you is because you need to be up. And it's, look, I don't like saying levels, but you need to be where God wants you to be. And even though I had the best roomie in the world, and I just dropped her off a signed copy of my book yesterday, she is just amazing, and we both have made a new friendship there, which, yeah, clearly to me is that God needed me to be there for her, but she needed to be there for me. Just excuse me one moment. So one of the things, Jean, I truly believe that maybe I was there for a different reason as well. And maybe it was to actually see the way that public systems, and I heard that private isn't much better, but I have also heard that, because my sister, two up from me, had stents put in her heart valves just a couple of months ago. So yes, it is in the family. Um, yeah, unwelcoming. But anyway, besides that, what I felt was that, yeah, I needed to be there. I needed to see how this was running. I needed to see how other people are coping with this tragedy they call a public hospital system, which, yes, in Australia, look, I am so blessed to be in Australia, just to have a hospital to go to. And I do feel sorry for any of those out there that don't have that. And my prayers are with you all, to not have the availability of being taken by ambulance, or, put in a hospital bed. But it's not good enough. Now, this brings me over to on passive, because for this whole, like, I only got out last Friday, and you all know I've had to rest and recover, and it's hard for me to just rest. There's only so much rest you can get in a day. I'm a doer. I want to be here. I want to still do things, but I have to just take it slowly. Okay, so I want you to all understand I am resting. I am taking it slowly, but my mind says you need to get on and do a video, and you need to do this, and slowly. Okay. Slowly, trust me, it's slowly. It's sometimes too slow, where I just, the mind, my mum always said before she passed away, and she was very agile, she did gardening, she cooked, she cleaned, she washed her own sheet. She died at 87, with a hemorrhage to the brain, but she was so amazing. If I can be half of what she was, I will feel absolutely 100% blessed. But mum used to always say, love, the mind says, hey, I can do anything. I want to do this, I want to do that. And the body goes, not today. And it really is quite funny, because it's me now sort of thinking like that, oh my gosh, my brain says, got to do this, I want to do that, this has got to be done, I've got to help this person, rah, rah, rah. And the body says, no, you can't do that. And like I said, God has a way of slowing me down. One of the things I also want to share before we finish up is that stress has a lot to do with heart, okay? And if you don't think that they're involved or related together, then you really need to do your research on that. What happens is that I think over my life, I've been under so much stress. I've grown, I've stressed, I've grown, I've stressed, I've grown, I've stressed, and things like that, that it becomes fight or flight. And I understand that, and I've done a lot of work on myself around that. However, my responsibility, and I take full thingy for this, that I was overdoing it, both in my own life and in on passive. And I actually pushed myself too far because, not because I had to, nobody forced me to do anything ever, but I wanted to, because I'm a giver and I love you all. And it meant so much to be a part of a webinar, you know, to do videos not only for myself but others in the background, you know, to be on YouTube, to be here, to do this. So I take full responsibility for my own actions. However, you can't change necessarily the person that you were born to be. I just have to look at things a little bit differently and prioritize differently. So thank you again for all your prayers and love and support and kindness and just messages. It really has helped me in getting through and uplifting me in many ways when it's a time where you can feel quite down. I do suffer from, I don't call depression, but I certainly have anxiety, and it's something that I've had from way back. And Muddy spoke about this with his granddaughter and grandson. I think it has happened with him as well, where anxiety is something that just comes on you. It's not something you invite in for a cup of tea. It's something that can come from what you don't even understand at that present time. Okay. So it's a feeling of overwhelm. It's a feeling of, it sort of complicates your mind a little bit, you know, so you have to sit with it and find out, or try and find out where it's coming from. And that's what I've been doing over the last few days while I've been released from hospital, because I need to have my anxiety calm. Okay, I do believe I had a doctor's appointment this afternoon with my own doctor. And what happened was he did my blood pressure very good. He spoke to me because there's some tablets that I won't take, and don't judge me for that. Okay, that's my body, my choice. And he said to me, everything's fine, you know, and I believe, and I said to him, if I can speak with you honestly, because I'm very open with my doctor, I said, I believe I had a stress heart attack. And he agreed. He agreed. So it's like stress can cause, you know, concerns with your heart. Now, just let me read a few statistics for you before we finish off. Before I, okay, so approximately, so these are statistics, sorry, from the Australian Heart Foundation. So approximately 430,000 Australians, or nearly 2% of the population, have experienced a heart attack. Yeah. So, like I said, if you have had one, or you know if anybody has had one, please pop it in the chat. 430,000 Australians. Okay. Men are more than twice as likely to experience heart attacks compared to women. Remember, these statistics are coming from the Heart Foundation in Australia. Heart disease claims the life of one Australian every 18 minutes, totaling around 79 deaths a day. So you can see why I've come on here to share my experience, to say, you know, take a look around you, take a look at your own life, take a look at what you are doing. Again, I shared the food from the hospital, which is upsetting me, and I just want to come over to that quickly. Just two more. Individuals with mental health conditions, so such as myself with anxiety, have a higher risk of developing heart disease. Now, one of the best things that come out of this is from the echo I spoke about earlier. I asked the heart doctor, because I'd forgotten to ask her the day that it was done. So I asked her the next day. She said, Narelle, you have no heart muscle damage at all. Your main artery, right, which is the one that they're more concerned about, which I had replaced in 2015, is running very well and very clear, and it's pumping like a 16-year-old girl. Oops. Don't know
Our
what that is.
life together is
Okay.
so precious.
So anyway, on to it. Sorry, I don't know what was happening there. So yeah, as I'm saying, like God's protected me. Your prayers have brought me through. You know, I don't have any heart muscle damage. My main artery is pumping like a 16-year-old girl. So it has to come from somewhere, right? And like I said, um, heart disease is in the family. And I believe that, you know, I'm meant to be here for whatever reason. I'm meant to be here. Anyway, so onwards and upwards, because I want to finish off soon, not keep you too long. Your heart isn't just affected by what you eat. It's also affected about how you feel. So, you know, when people say, I feel brokenhearted, you've had a bad relationship, you feel like your heart is broken, right? So it's not just about what you put in your mouth. Yes, that has a great big lot to do with it, but it's also about how you're feeling. How does your heart feel? Has something happened? Have you lost a loved one? You know, where you feel that you can't go on because of how your heart is feeling. So chronic stress keeps your body in a state of high alert. Okay, so that's what I'm working on now, is to keep my stress levels down. Do those things that I love to do that uplift me, and be around people who uplift me, encourage me, love and support, so that I can do that back for them as well, which over time wears down your heart and blood vessels. So the good news is managing stress is one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your heart. So have a think about what I've shared today. I hope it's been of some value to you, of what, you know, not only what I've gone through. Now, just over back to unpassive, okay, because I've been wanting to get back there. So, like I said, the public system is atrocious. It's getting worse. Why? Because the funds aren't being put into that. And I'm going to say this out loud. There are a lot of systems out there that want to keep sick people in the sick system. Okay, so they want you just to be taking drugs. They don't want you to know anything about your health. They don't want you to be healthy, because there's a lot of drugs. Billions and billions of dollars is spent. Do you question what you're taking? Do you research it? Sorry, but I'm such a researcher on what's my body taking? What am I putting into my body? Hey, Willow. Oh my gosh. Hello. Lovely to see you. Yeah, so what are you putting into your body? But who are you spending time with? Okay, now, again, I've been stuck with this in thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How can I change things? I personally alone can't do much. But I know that it was spoken about on, I think, Marty and Chris's live, forgive me if it was somebody else, that together we're going to be able to make these magnificent changes. You know, like, can you imagine? And I know, let's talk about countries like PNG, Haiti, Uganda, and there's many others. So please forgive me if I've forgotten the many others that live with no fresh water, who live with no shoes, who live with no hardly any food or good shelter. We're going to be able to come in there and we're going to be able to help them immensely together. You know, together, whether it's 800,000 strong, 1,000,000 strong, however many it is. Can you imagine being able to put a few dollars in, $10, $20, $50, and be able to help them? But also in our own personal communities where we live. Start where you live, because there's obviously people here who are lacking support, lacking that uplifting. You know, like I talk about the elderly because I'm almost there, but I talk about them because I saw my dad and I saw my mum, and even though mum died fairly quickly, dad was in a nursing home for 10 years, because he had 2 strokes and 2 heart attacks. It left him paralyzed down one side, and it left him without speech for 10 years. And I saw the way that the public system treats these people. Had he have not had our beautiful, amazing family that took him to church every Sunday, and also then took him to the family lunch where he could enjoy people, even though he couldn't speak. Okay, he enjoyed the family, the time spent together. How many people out there are crying out for help? How many people could do with us being there to say, "G'day, how you going?" You know, how many people, is there something you need? You know, just back to the hospital again, there was a trolley that went past every day. Don't even know what they said. But it was something like trolley or cafeteria or something. They said something and they brought around books and stuff like that. They didn't even come into the room. So if you were in the middle of doing a wee, or they didn't wait around, or if you were in the middle of just trying to turn yourself in bed to be able to go, yeah, take something, they were gone. So there's no connection, there's no interaction, there's no personality in these. They're just doing their job. And getting paid well for it, because they're not well paid here. But yeah, so many people lost their jobs because of back into 2020, and we're not going to go into that little row. And a lot of people didn't go back. A lot of nurses don't go back, and I think it's still a requirement to these days, and that's why they are short-staffed. Now, short-staffed or not, it doesn't give you a right to treat somebody differently. You are in an area of care. You are in an area that says, these people need me. You know, from, like I said, having to wash myself down. This is idiotic. This is stupid. It's crazy, you know, and it's hurtful. So, like I said, I have a voice and I speak up, even though at that time I should have spoken a bit louder. As to not liking that situation, and because of the cannulas and everything, I was glad to get out of there. And it's not just me. I've heard a few different stories here in Australia, here in my here in my state, where people have said the food nearly killed them. Now, can you imagine what that is doing for those who don't have somebody that can help them? How many people do you think we're going to be able to help? You know, how many people can you help in your community? Start writing it down now. Don't just think, I know they all say fill your own fill your own basket, tank, whatever you want to do, but you can do something as well as, okay? And that's my heart. My heart says, I'm fine, okay? I'm fine. And I will keep doing what I'm doing because I can help this person now, and I can help these 3 people and these 5 people, and do a little bit for myself, rather than it all go to me first and hang on a minute, I'll be with you in a year when I pay off my bills or my house or my car or whatever. Hang on. I can't do that. And I'm not going to do that, because it's not in me to see somebody suffer, right, while I'm living in glory, so to speak, or I've paid my house off, or I've bought a new car. So there's a lot of things that we need to start looking at. On passive is going to be, and we know, and I will share that again because I have shared it in my OP Australia and New Zealand Oceanic Ambassadors. I have shared the times for Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea. So have a look over there, OP Australia and New Zealand Oceanic Ambassadors Facebook group. If you want to know, you can reach out to me, and I can tell you the times for over this side. Remember, there it is. There we go. So that's what it looks like. If you go and have a look on Facebook, OP Australia and NZ Oceanic Ambassadors, please give it a bit of a like while you're over there. And I do put up different things from time to time, and also about my Who, What, Where Wednesdays. So have a look over there, and the times are there with a post. Now, also remember that the link for the webinar with Ash Mafara will be in your OES back office, okay? If you go to the little section up the top that says updates, you can click on there. Now, it may change. It may have changed. I know that Chris Johnson put out a post today about a new update coming. So please go to your OES back office and check on that, and keep checking from time to time. Doesn't have to be every 5 minutes. You don't have to be the first one. Nobody will be left behind. People are going to know. But if you happen to be logging in, just check that update area. So for us here in Australia, it will be midnight in Western Australia on Thursday night, Friday morning. For me here in Queensland, also New South Wales, Victoria, because they've come off daylight savings, and for PNG, it will be 2 a.m. on Friday morning. Rest up if you can during the day, and I'm saying that to myself and you, because I'm going to need some rest to be able to be alert and present for that 2 a.m. And in New Zealand, because they've come off of their daylight savings as well, it'll be 4 a.m. in the morning, Friday morning. So like I said, go and check out my post. The times are all there. The link will be in your back office, your OES. So make sure that you keep an eye out for that coming up to time. And please be there if you can. Okay, it is really important that we support our CEO, Mr. Ash Mafara, but also the leaders and everybody who's been spreading the word out there, about this. This is our first live webinar for 2025. Yes, we have been waiting patiently, and God bless you all, because, patience is a virtue, they say. But yeah, like I said, I'm so thankful that you're here. I'm going to run through the chat quickly, and just let you know that any of those people who have done Ready, Set, Go, that a week or so ago we had a bad experience, and my website was hacked in a sense. So let me go back here, because I want to really appreciate each and every one of you for being here and supporting me on Who, What, Where Wednesday. I will be back next week. Like I said, I'm going to take it a little bit quicker, a bit easier, and come to you not so much with teaching a whole heap at the moment, just so that I can catch up and feel more ready, I suppose, and more balanced, and more back to being a stronger me. Like I said, I look a little bit like somebody picked me up out of the rubbish bin today, but that's okay, because I'm coming to you very raw and real. Oh my gosh, I can't believe all these messages. I'm trying to get close to the top. Hey, Paul Ashton, my mate from New Zealand, lovely to see you. Yes, I tend to heal fast, because I don't try to stay in the anguish of it. I'm here, I'm alive, and that's it. Jean, thank you so much for joining us from the US. Saraj, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all your support in everything you do all over the place. Glenda Forbes, thank you, and Jasmine for joining in from South Australia. Really appreciate that. You have an important mission. I certainly do, Jean. I just wish the dear Lord would tell me a little bit in advance what that is. I know that's my joking side. Vivine, it's lovely to see you. I actually had a telephone conversation with Vivine the other evening. It was so wonderful to chat in person and just have that really heart connection with those people that we have made that connection with. Vivine is originally from PNG and lives in Western Australia, so it's really wonderful that she was able to have some time, because I know she works so hard. Let me just duck through these quickly. So I just want to see if anybody has had a heart attack, or if they know somebody. Yes, my uncle had a heart attack, and on mum's side, many relatives had strokes related to heart attacks. Yeah. So just remember that a stroke is completely different to a heart attack. It's more of a blockage to the brain, whereas heart attacks are with the heart. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but yeah, my father had both, and a stroke can leave you quite powerless with a lot of stuff. So God does have a sense of humor. Yes, he certainly does, and especially being on the 1st of April. It's like April Fool. Hey, Narelle. We have a request to you. Please, Mum, you need a proper rest. I do rest, Saraj. I do rest, but I can tell you that when you're a person that doesn't rest a lot, there's only so much resting you can do in one day. Okay. But I have to come on here, and I have to, not have to, I want to. I miss you guys. Okay. I don't come on here for any palaver for myself, but to just be another listening ear, or a platform where you guys can come and listen to that Aussie person that has an accent that we don't know we have. Deborah, so lovely to see you. I really appreciate your kindness and your support, and your beautiful photos of your birds and the rainbow today. That made my day. Yeah, there was, I tell you, I don't know what's happening in your world, but if things are happening with your internet messages, things going a little bit crazy, just keep praying. That's all I can say. Mahesh, thank you so much. Take care. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your kindness and your kind words. Marcianne, so lovely of you to pop in. Yeah, welcome back. So you will see me from time to time, and if you see me a little bit, don't stress over it, okay? I'm only doing what I can at certain times of the day, and the rest I am resting, and making sure that still eating well. Like I said, I went to the doctor today, and I do have to have some blood tests done, but he was very happy with the results. Prevalink, I'm sorry, Prevlika and Daddy. Thank you so much for joining in today. Really appreciate it. Yes, so make sure that you're looking after yourself, okay? We need you well, and we need you strong to be able to do the things to uplift others, okay? We have a big mission ahead of us, and it really is important that we all stay strong. I don't not feel strong, okay? I just had to take a little break. I don't know. So Vivine, yes, your mum had that while she was on holidays, and we were both alone when it happened. Her main artery was unblocked with a stent, but 90% of her heart was scarred. She's in heaven now. Me too. All mums, to everyone out there who's lost their mum, I love you all. Mothers are so important, and when you lose them, life is never the same. It feels like you've lost the I don't know, mum was like the person that, go-to person, whether she was sharing with you personally or just loving on the family. My mum was a huge lover of family. So, Kenton, thank you again for joining us, and also for that beautiful message that you sent in and also shared on your Facebook. That was truly very moving, very heartfelt, that's for sure. Thank you, Vivine. I'll just Paul, Marcianne, Kenton, Birgit, thank you so much. Birgit's coming in from Norway, I believe. So thank you so much. MD Alden, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. If you know of anybody or going through time, please share this out with anybody. If you're new to my YouTube channel, please like and subscribe, and please hit the bell for notifications when I do go live. So there's a lot of Jelen, thank you so much again. A lot of comments here tonight, so I really appreciate each and every one of you. I will have to finish off now because I don't want to keep you too long, or me, and I've already shared enough tonight. I just really wanted to come on and share my experience that I've been through. So thank you so much. See you again next week on Who, What, Where Wednesday. Love to you all, love to your family, and keep praying not only for your own families, but for On Passive family as well. So everything is coming. Remember to keep an eye out on your OES, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now. Love you all.